And hi guys, and welcome back to the Anderson Show. I'm Charlene, and in part one of my video, the Daniel fast, which was my why was I doing the Daniel fast? This is part two, the food that I'm eating. So just sharing with you some of the food that I was cooking, and some of the juices that I was having, because as you know, it's no junk food, no processed food, but I'll go through that with you. Chapter 1 verse 1. So Daniel is now talking to the guards in the book of Daniel, and because the king has said that all his servants have to eat from his table, I think they eat the leftovers, but nonetheless eat from the table, and it's not eating any. So I don't think, because they were Jewish young boys, so the food obviously wouldn't be kosher food either. So if you remember, our bodies are temples and our bodies are gods, so we have to look after them. So he didn't want to defile his body. So Daniel says to the guards, please test your servants for 10 days. Give us nothing but vegetables to eat and water to drink. Then compare our appearance with that of the young men who eat the raw food, and treat your servants in accordance with what you see. So he agreed to this and tested them for 10 days. And at the end of the 10 days, they looked healthier and better, nourished than any of the young men who ate the raw food. So the guard took away their choice food and the wine they were to drink and gave them vegetables instead. To these 4 young men, God gave knowledge, he gave understanding, gave all kinds of literature and learning, and Daniel could understand visions, dreams of all kinds. So why is that important? It's important because when you want to draw closer to God and you want to receive gifts, or even the gifts that you have, you want God to kind of perfect them and enhance them. The best way you can draw closer to God is by praying, and is by fasting, and is by sacrificing something we take for granted every day. Every day you pick up your phone, every day you might watch a bit of TV, and then there's times when you don't have to pick up your phone or watch the TV. But most times, if you're not intermittent fasting, and I'm talking about just in general, most times we have to eat, right? So there's some people like, yeah, but I'm not really an eater. Yeah, but if you've never eat, then you wouldn't be here. Not for too long anyway. And your body can last on water for so long. So realistically, something that you have to do is eat. So one thing you can really say to God, look, I'm really going to sacrifice, food. I really want to channel into you. I want to pray. I want to get closer to you. I'm going to abstain from food. And some people has done it for 40 days like Jesus did, but it takes a lot of meditation, a lot of practice, a lot of self-control, and to be sensible, because there's some people that has come off those 40 days and has eaten bread, and some people's actually died because your body's just gone so long without certain things. And it's quite interesting actually, so not to digress, but it's quite interesting. They said one lady, a pastor's lady, done it, and she unfortunately died after 40 days of fasting and kind of just eating bread. And they said, what's one thing that the devil said to Jesus to tempt him in the desert? And he said, turn the stones into bread, remember? So sometimes we have to be careful. So when you're doing this, it's not a diet. It's not to lose some inches on the waist, or to look good, or to feel good. Well, to feel good, yes, in terms of spiritually, you hopefully will look good as well, because as you heard me read, they even looked better than the men that were eating from the king's table. But also remember, our wise is to get closer and to draw closer to our Father in heaven, to have a relationship with him. So some of the foods that you shouldn't be eating on the Daniel fast. So it's no animal fats at all, no milk, no butter, no eggs, no meat, so including fish. So no pork, no chicken, no fish, no tuna, nothing like that at all. So you stay clear from anything to do with all animal products. No caffeine, so that's no tea, no coffee, no herbal teas with caffeine in it. It depends. When you Google like the Daniel fast, some will say you can have like herbal tea. Some will say just have spring or filtered water. And what I do, because you're allowed to have fresh fruits and stuff, I make sort of like lemon tea, like just hot water with a bit of lemon or a bit of lime in it, so you're having something warm in your stomach. No processed food, no junk food. So yes, it's difficult when you go out and you think you're smelling the chips or the chicken or whatever, and it's no fast food at all. So with this, you have to be prepare yourself as well, because if you go out and it's going to be a long day and you haven't carried any packed lunch, you have to be mindful of what you're allowed to buy, because even if you're going to buy juice and it's not from like a juice shop, like, you know, a health shop, and you go into the supermarket, you have to look at the ingredients of what it's containing. And likewise with salads and stuff, if they've got any sauces, you can't have the sauces. So we just have to be mindful. It's better to kind of, if you can, prepare a packed lunch when you leave out. Also breads as well. So we can't have bread with yeast. So it's trying to look for like unleavened bread. It's very difficult unless you've got a Jewish shop near, or a shop that, you know, is like a fresh bakery and they have bread with no rising agents, no yeast. Because a lot of them, even if they say like a flat bread, some you find they've got some rising agents in there. So this is about having clean foods, fresh fruits. You can have frozen fruits as well. Vegetables, you know, nuts, seeds, oils as well. No vegetable and like sunflower and those type of oil. There's loads of other oils, but they said you can have a small amount of olive oil, if you can get extra virgin olive oil, and try not to fry your food either. So I have like cooked down, like, you know, you can cook down your food, but try not to like, because it's also about, because you're sacrificing, it's about sacrificing, you know, like, I don't know, you might want to do like some fried veg or something like that. And it's not about that. But to be honest, I think you have to, for me, talk to God. And what does God say to you? Because what he might say to one man might be different from another, or a woman might be different from another. So I think with me, I have to enjoy some parts of the day with my food. So I do make it look colourful. I do try and cook it down. I try and use natural flavours, like some like herbs. So like coriander and basil and parsley. You know, you can use sea salt or rock salt, not table salt. And like some pepper, and, you know, try and give it a little bit of flavour. Because 21 days, 3 weeks is a long time. And then you've also got to remember energy levels. You might feel a bit weaker, a bit more sluggish, a bit more lethargic than other days. So just be mindful of plenty of water, plenty of fluids. And because you can have fresh fruits and frozen, I made a few smoothies as well to try to top me up with some nuts throughout the day as well. So I will show you some bits what I've been eating, just to share with you visually, that you can see like, okay, yeah, I can do this. But ultimately, this part is I'm showing you the food, but remember, the fast is, aside from the food, it's about getting closer to God, drawing closer to God. Yeah, so I'm going to show you, I'm just looking at my notes, sorry, I'm just going to show you some of the food that I've been eating. So yeah, I hope you enjoy. Hi, and I just want to read this to you. So this is 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verses 19 to 20. And it says, "Do you not know that your bodies are temples of the Holy Spirit, who is in you, whom you have received from God? You are not your own, you were bought at a price. Therefore, honour God with your bodies. Our bodies ultimately belong to God. We should steward them wisely, which includes taking care of our physical health." So again, it's all kind of amalgamated when we talk about prayers, fasting, abstaining from food, but also your body is your temple. It's not yours, it's God. So by honouring God and the Holy Spirit, we need to physically, you know, make sure that we're healthy and we're doing right by God. And it's, you know, easy said than done, because, you know, we live in a a fast-tracked world now. Everything is instant, instant money, instant cash, instant Wi-Fi. Everything is instant. And the problem is that when you are waiting on God, sometimes, not all, sometimes he can give us an instant message, but a lot of the times he wants us to practice being still, being patient. And then sometimes the answer is not always instant. So by doing these fasting, it really does help you connect with God and connect with the spiritual world, because remember to be in the world and not of the world. And we were first spirit first. So, we have to remember that, God is very intentional and he's very timely, and he's a beautiful and loving God. I love God. I really do. So guys, I hope you enjoy, watching the videos, and just, like and subscribe. Thank you, guys.